Welcome to Digital Marketing One-on-One for Latinas. I am Heidi De La Cruz, and oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. I don't even know where to start. Actually, I do know where to start. I want to start this first episode by just saying that I'm so excited. I am so excited to start this. I am so excited to start this journey and tell you a little bit of who I am, why I started this show, and what you can find from here. And I want to welcome you to this journey. I'm like super cheesy and excited about this. But, anyways, so I am Heidi De La Cruz. I am an award-winning podcast host. I host another podcast called The American Dream in the Eyes of Immigrants. And I have been doing that podcast for 3 years now. And it's a podcast about interviewing immigrants. So this is actually the first time that I am doing a show, just me, right? Just solo episodes, just me. But I do also coach people to launch their podcasts, right? And so I have helped people start their own solo shows and also interview style shows and also a combination of both, right? But this is the first time that I am doing a solo show. And I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm also really, really excited because there's so much, I want to say, knowledge and experience that I have being in this online space for the last 10 plus years. And I've shared my experiences here and there, right? Whether it's writing an article on Medium or on Substack, where I host my weekly newsletter, or my blog, right? I do have a blog on my website, HeidiDeLaCruz.com, where I share podcasting tips, right? And then I also share my podcast episode. So I've shared my knowledge and experiences here and there, different parts of the internet in this internet world, but I don't have one place to share all of my experience, all of my tips and tricks and stuff with being in this online world. And so this is it. Here it is. I am starting the show and I am so excited to be able to bring everything here. Okay. And so, why did I name it Digital Marketing One-on-One for Latinas, right? So, digital marketing literally is marketing your business online, right? And lately, digital marketing has been associated with the master resale rights courses. And so that's what I associated with, right? As well. And so then I looked up what digital marketing really is. And it's just marketing your business online, whether that is social media, whether that is blogging, SEO, podcasting, right? YouTube, right? And so I was like, wait, this is what I've always done. I've always marketed everything that I'm doing, whether it's my blog or whatever, my podcast, it's marketing online, right? And so I was like, hold on, like I have 10 plus years of experience doing this. I want to share my experience, my knowledge, my just everything that I do in one place. Like I need that. I don't have that. And so recently also I was getting my hair done. Shout out to Aisha. I was getting my hair done and I was also telling her about my healing journey. So if you follow me on my what's it called? Substack. Oh my gosh. Into my thoughts. I shared how back at towards the end of 2023, I got diagnosed with PTSD and just going through that healing journey, therapy journey. It has been a lot. It really has been a lot. So I was sharing a little bit with her about that, and she could relate to some of it as well because there's certain things that she was going through earlier this year as well. And she was like, we seem like to be in alignment with like, similar things, right? And so she also told me was like, you should share. about your experience and things like that, because there's so many people in this online space and having an online business who can relate and may think that like, oh, I'm the only one going through that, but really they're not, right? And so that really sparked something in me to want to share. Also, the fact that I did just recently purchase the UBC course, which is the ultimate branding course, but that's I wouldn't leave that to what for another episode about that course and everything. But yeah, so all of this came together as like, okay, I want to help Latina women start their online business to make money, to break generational cycles, to live in freedom, to live life on their own terms, and to know that it's okay if you're doing things differently than your family has done it. It's okay if you want to take another path. It's okay to do that because this is your life and not theirs. You know, you're the one who's going to be living with the consequences of the actions that you take, right? And so I am also breaking generational cycles, which again, I will get to in another episode. And I am also taking a not traditional route, you know. Podcasting wasn't really a thing. I mean, podcasting was a thing when I was in high school, but it wasn't as popular as it is now. And so it's like when I was in high school, like I didn't think that I was going to be a podcaster or an online business coach or having a business online period, right? Like, you know, so it's okay to do things differently. And I want to be the type of coach that is there for all parts, right? Start the business, grow the business, scale the business, because you know, things happen along the way while you're in this online space. So that again, that will be another episode when I go into more detail as to like the type of coach that I am and the help that I want to provide and who I want to provide that help with. So I will get into that. But for this one, I just want to share a little bit about me, how I got here, and what you can expect moving forward. And so I do want to share a little bit of my background, right? Because I said I have over 10 years of this online experience. And I launched my first blog in 2014. It was going to be an online journal where I was just going to share my life. I was just going to use that as a creative outlet to share my life and to have something kind of like to reflect back when I'm older and you know, because the older you get, the more memories you make, right? And then you kind of forget things of when you were younger. So I wanted to document pretty much my journey, my life. And that's what it was going to be. But then as I got, the more I blogged, the more I realized like this could be a business. Like you can make money from blogging, right? And so then I started taking it more serious as the business aspect of things, right? So in 2019, I actually started to freelance write. So I would write for clients blog posts, and that was really fun for, you know, for a while. And then 2020 came and you know, it was just dealing with a lot of mental health issues in 2020. And so fast forward to 2021, I actually started selling journals. So I would create journals on Canva and then I would use Amazon to print it and sell it on Amazon. So I had three journals. I had a prayer journal, I had a gratitude journal, and then I also had one that was supposed to help you with like your projects. So if you were having like for creatives, it was a journal for creatives. And in 2021, I also started my second blog, which is now what is my Substack. And so fast forward to 2022, I launched my podcast, The American Dream in the Eyes of Immigrants. And within the same year, I also self-published my poetry book. So I went through that process to self-publish that. And again, while I was launching a podcast, and when I think back about that, I was like, what was I thinking? Like that's a lot in itself, but I was doing other things, and I did eventually end up getting burnt out. But that again, another story for another episode. And so as I got more into this podcasting world in this industry, and I do want to say shout out to podcasters because so supportive. People are so supportive. People really help you out, and it really is like a very, very supportive community. So I love podcasting, and I kept seeing people start their podcast and feeling very overwhelmed in the beginning. And then I also kept seeing and hearing that like a lot of podcasters will start their podcast, but they would quit very, very quickly. And it's like, why? And it just seemed like that people would say, like, oh, I want to start a podcast, but not really understand what they were getting into and all the work that it took, right? So then I was like, I can help people start their podcast. And so then I started coaching people how to launch their podcast. And I remember I broke down, I thought back. It's like, okay, if I were to start a podcast today, what would I do first? What would I do second? What would I do third? So I broke it down steps like that, and then I broke it into a 6 week time frame. And so I'll help people launch within their 6 weeks time frame, and that really fun. Still do that. I was hosting monthly master classes, teaching people like, okay, if you're interested in launching a podcast, here's everything that you need to know. And I will go into a lot of details, share absolutely everything, ask questions, provide freebies and things like that. And got a couple clients like that, which was really fun and really cool. And so I did that for a few. Then I took a pause last year in 2024. I took a pause from coaching because of my health, my healing journey. Sorry, because of my healing journey, I took a pause, which is again another topic that I can get into for another episode. And so although I took a pause from coaching and doing the master class last year, I actually still continued my podcast. So I was really doing everything behind the scenes, like not really showing up online as much, but I was still, producing my podcast. And also in 2024, that's when my podcast won an award for the Women in Podcasting Awards for the Society and Culture category, which was so cool. And then this year, actually, I got to sponsor the awards and present the award to this year's winner, which was so cool and such a full circle moment that I loved that I got to be a part of. And so here we are, 2025. I am still podcasting. Like I said, now my other podcast is on a weekly basis instead of bi-weekly like it was before. And I now want to help people start their own online business. And not just people, Latinas. Talking about immigrants themselves or first gen. So, well, some people call it first gen, some people call it second gen. I realized that with doing my immigration podcast, it's like different people have different terms for the thing. So like I want to help immigrants or children of immigrants start their online business to make a path for their own life, to be able to live in freedom, right? And along the way, again, I've done so many things. I've tried so many things. Like for example, I did a t-shirt business for a little bit. So me and my husband started a t-shirt business. So we did an e-commerce, we did it with Shopify. And and then I realized like that's not what I want to do. I don't want to do that, but I was, willing to try. So I'm always willing to try new things. And because again, I really, really believe in it's better to try things and say that you did it and it wasn't for you or it didn't work out than to like live life with regret and be like, man, I should have tried that. Like time is gonna pass anyways. Might as well try different things, try new things and be like, well, I did it for a year, or I did it for 2 years, and it just wasn't for me. So yeah, so I'm definitely a person who is willing to try things. I love, love, love sharing knowledge, my experiences. I am not one to gatekeep at all. I don't believe in gatekeeping. Like I feel like there's enough room for everyone to win. I'm definitely not in competition with anybody. I am competition with myself. Like there's already so much internal work that I've done and still need to do that. It's just like I don't have time to be competing with somebody else. Like, no, like I have my own stuff to focus on, you know? And so yeah, so I'm definitely open to trying new things. Again, I've done so much in the past 10 years. You know, with the blog, I've learned a lot about SEO, and with the podcast, I have sold digital products, courses, and things like that. So it's just like I want to just share all of this, and I want to help people, Latinas. I keep saying people, but it's Latinas. I want to help Latinas really own their life, like. And having an online business is a way to do that. You know, it's a way to bring in extra income if you have a 9 to 5, or if you want to go all in entrepreneurship, that's perfectly fine too. But I want people to know that there's more out there and you can make it happen. You just, you have to believe in yourself, and with the right guidance and the right mentorship and coaching, you can achieve it. And there will be another episode where I'll dive deeper into like all the coaching I've done and all the things that I've invested in throughout the years, throughout the last 10 years, coaching, internship, conferences, books, podcasts. Like I want to share all of that, like all of the investments and time and stuff. And I really want to be a coach that is with you through it all, right? Because no matter what level you are in your business, there's always challenges and there's always something to learn. So I'm constantly learning. I am always attending conferences and webinars and seminars and just learning from other podcasters. Like when people have podcasters have events, I'm there. I'm signed up to like so many different podcasting email lists because I'm always learning. I'm a lifelong learner, which is I feel very important to be. But yeah, so that is a little bit about me. And what can you expect from this show moving forward? So, I'm definitely going to be talking a lot about online business, right? And digital marketing. And no, it's not the Master Resell Right courses. There's so much more to digital marketing than that. And so I do want to dive deep into the different aspects of digital marketing. So SEO, blogging, podcasting, affiliate marketing. What else? I already said podcasting, but there's so much more to digital marketing than just those courses. And I want to dive deep into all of them and then again, share my experience, share my tips. And yeah, so thank you so much for being here, for listening, for supporting. And I am so excited to embark in this new journey. And I say new journey because it's a solo podcast, a solo show because I've never done this before. I've always done interview, right? Or I'm the one being interviewed. So this is a new journey for me, but I've been in this game for a while. Like I've been in this online game for a while. And yes, I'm just really, really excited for this new show. So thank you so much. Leave a comment if you would like. Also, let me know what topics you would like me to dive deeper in. If you have any questions for me, can definitely leave those and I will answer them in the episodes. And yeah, so you can definitely follow me on Instagram. My handle is Coaching with Heidy. Yes, Coaching with Heidi. And I will include the link in the show notes and show description. And working on my website, uh, another website for this. So stay tuned for that. And what else? Yeah, no, just so excited to be here. And until next time, bye.